Hello everyone, welcome to another video. Now, the new McLaren 720S GT3 has just been released by iRacing, and I'm going to take you for a couple of laps around Spa and tell you what I think. Now, this replaces the old McLaren GT3, and depending on when you bought that, you will get some credit. So if you bought the old McLaren recently, well, you'll get full credit, and essentially you'll get this one for free. So just a short one, my impressions of the McLaren 720S. Is this the GT3 for you? Well, let's get on track and find out. Right, let's start it up. Bit quiet. Could do with being a bit throatier. It does sound better out of the car, in my opinion. Doesn't sound bad. So dashboards, we've got 3. So that's race 1. So you've got your lap data on the left, then you've got tyre pressure, fuel information. Race 2, same on the left, but you've got brake temperature, brake balance, and then your third dashboard, quali. Well, that's your qualifying dashboard. Nice bright pit limiter indicator there. Right, let's get out on track. Now, I had the opportunity of testing this car pre-release as part of the new content, so obviously I couldn't tell anybody about it because it hadn't been released, it hadn't been given the all clear, but now it has. We can talk about it, and this feels the same as it did when I tested it in the alpha build, so there's no surprises to me with regards to how this car feels, and it drives really well. Bit of a spoiler, it does drive really well. It does some things like the Ferrari, in my opinion. It does some things like the Audi or the Lamborghini. Any one of those two, they're very similar. And it's got none of the old McLaren traits, you'll be pleased to know. So lift off oversteer was obviously a bit of a nightmare in the old McLaren. Well, on the fixed setup, at least that I'm using here now, the iRacing fixed setup, there's none of that. Whereas the old McLaren, if I turned in there trail braking, dropping a gear, I would have been 180 degrees facing the other way into the wall. Nothing like that in this one. Super planted, super stable. Dead easy to drive. I just think it could have just done with being a bit throatier, you know, like it's a race car. It sounds a bit wheezy, doesn't it? Just doesn't sound as like throaty as some of the others. I just wish it sounded a bit more like the Mustang, maybe. I know it can't. Different engine, but you know, just feels like it needs a little bit more on the sound department. Well, let's pick up the pace on the lap, and I'll tell you what I like about it. Firstly, I don't dislike anything about it apart from the sound. I think it could sound better. And when I say sound better, I just mean sound a bit more angry, if that makes sense. It's really predictable. Like, I've not really gotten it out of shape at all. And you can drive it like an absolute idiot, and it just behaves itself. Let's get rid of this before the end of the Kemmel Straight with the new fixed slowdowns. Let's give it a bit of a lift. Get rid of that. Look at that, perfect. So yeah, you can go over the curbs. It takes the curbs quite nicely. When it does slide, it's predictable. It tells you that it's going to slide. It doesn't do anything that it shouldn't do. There, a little bit of oversteer. Controllable. The car sorted itself out. Didn't really need to do much to counter that. So it handles very similarly to the Ferrari, I think. Feels very similar with its overall handling, but it stops a bit like the Audi or the Lamborghini. brakes are phenomenal. The brakes are incredible. It's going to be a really popular car, no doubt. Always thought the Ferrari is probably one of the best handling GT3s. As far as feel goes and predictability and ease, this is very similar. But the brakes are unbelievable. I'll try and demonstrate that as we go into the final chicane. They are incredible. I could have braked a bit later than that. But it does sound better out of the car. So I'll give you a listen to that now. I'll do another lap and have a listen. So what do I think? Well, I think it handles excellently. Possibly the easiest GT3 to drive. I think it turns well. The front end feels really responsive. The brakes are phenomenal. I just wish it sounded a bit better. Inside the car, you wouldn't think that it was a 4-litre twin-turbo V8. The sound just needs turned up one more notch. Overall, I think it's a really good car. If you're just getting into GT3 racing, this one, really easy. I would imagine this would be pretty competitive everywhere. Easy to drive, and it stops really well. But if you've bought it, let me know what you think down below in the comments. Just a short one. Thanks for watching. Have a great week. See you later. Cheers.